Hello everyone, this is Anne, and in this tutorial, which is a Silhouette America tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take patterns, which are the roses, and some images, which is a silhouette of the state of Texas, a lady's hat, lady's dress, and lady's shoes, and be able to take this pattern and be able to convert it into these various shapes. So let's get started. The very first thing that you need to do is to outline in your mind or on paper exactly what your final project is supposed to be. What is your objective? And so my objective today is to take the state of Texas, and we're going to have this rose pattern end up being in the shape of Texas. So let's get started. So I'm going to bring Texas here, and I'm just going to drag it out a bit bigger. And one of the tips that I learned the hard way, it's going to save you a little bit, is I'm right clicking on this and I'm duplicating. And a lot of times I will even triplicate it, but I think duplicate is enough. And so for the rose pattern, since I have the hat, the dress, and the shoes, and this state, I am going to make several copies of it and just move it to the side. I did not have a rose pattern, and I spent hours on the internet trying to figure out, where am I going to get the rose pattern that I'm looking for? Because, of course, if you're following any of my tutorials, you know that I am a perfectionist, and I've been recording a lot of tutorials in Inkscape because I like to trace there versus trace here in Silhouette. And then it hit me, just create your own pattern. You don't have to spend a lot of time trying to find what you want in Google. And the way that I did that was I found one rose that I liked, and then I duplicated it, and then I grouped those two together, and I duplicated them, and then I grouped the four, and I duplicated, and so on and so on and so on. And that's how I ended up with the pattern. And so you can do that as well. So now let's just take this one, and it's going behind Texas. That's not what we want. So I'm just going to right click on those roses, and I'm going to say come to the front. Now it's at the very front of Texas. Still not large enough, so I'm just going to find one of those handles and make it large enough to cover the state of Texas. And I'm just moving it to try to position it so that my roses are pretty much covering all of Texas and getting the position that I want without too much gaps or anything there. And I think that looks good. Let's just enlarge it and see if it doesn't get too big. There, I think you can see it a lot better. Now that I have that, and I'm just holding my scroll key and pulling it down a little bit here, just enough. Okay, and now that I've done that, the only thing that's left to do, I'm just going to click off of it. I have the state of Texas underneath, I have the roses on top, and so all I have to do now is I'm just going to click and drag both of them. You can see the bounding box underneath for Texas. You see the bigger one outside for the roses. I'm going to go over here to the icon for the M. Now, let me pause just for a minute. I have the Silhouette Studio Business Edition, so I have a few more icons than you. So how about, instead of me going over here to these icons, and I still may do it just by force of habit, so forgive me, let's go to Object, because we all have the same over here on the left. Let's go to Object, Modify, and Crop. And it just takes a little while to do that. Now, it's done that. And what it does is your pattern takes on the color of that image underneath. Not to worry. One of the things that we need to do is to clean it up just a tad bit. And you see these pieces that are out here? Those little straggler pieces, as I call them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down my shift key while I'm at it, and this is just the way I do it. You can click off of it and do it now, or you can do it later. It's your preference. For me, I have to do it while I have it at this stage, and I can kind of sort of see what's going on. As a matter of fact, let me enlarge it a little bit and play with my scroll key. I'm going to hold my shift key down so that I don't release anything that I don't want. And I'm just clicking on the pieces that I don't want to group, because when I'm done, I'm going to tell it to group. And these are the pieces, little pieces, that I do not want. I'm not interested in keeping those little pieces. So let me, there's a little straggler there. That's a little piece there. And again, this is purely optional. Some people wait and do it at the very end. It is clearly your choice. But you will have to do this. If not, someone is going to notice that you have those. So I've released my finger from the shift key. I'm going to right click on this, and I'm going to now say group. Now I'm going to click off of it. Well, while I still have it grouped, let me reduce it so that you can see it better. I'm going to go to my fill tool, and I'm going to click on yellow. And I need to also make my lines yellow, because that's the way it's supposed to do. And so I'm clicking on the lines. Now we see the yellow roses. Now I'm going to click off of it. And I'm just highlighting around the things I don't want, and I'm clicking delete. I have to get a little close to it, and I'm just getting rid of these little pieces there. I think I click there, and did I click there and there, and I maybe there. Okay, and I think the other spots is just where I just need to clean my screen. You guys pretend you didn't hear that. Okay, so you would think that this is done, but we're not. Remember the other texts that we saved? Okay, I'm going to bring it back in. Let me scroll back over here. We're going to bring it back in. You could waste a lot of time fussing trying to get this thing lined up just right, but you really don't have to. I'm going to leave it kind of off center just to kind of show you some of the tools that you have to work with. Now, I am not exactly sure if these tools are available in basic, but I do know in Designer Edition and in Business Edition, they are available. So you just want to highlight both, the black and the roses. You want to come over to your align tool, and this is a line, but let's see over here if it has a line. Object, align, and we want to align center. And okay, and see, it does the alignment for you, and that's what's so good about it. So no more trying to see, do I have it right at the edge and all of that stuff. But we're not done yet. One of the things that I have a pet peeve about, let me just undo this, is this Texas is in black, but the line is still in red because for some reason everything that we do in Silhouette is in red. So I want to go to the line and make my line black. Now you can see that it is in black. So that was just an Ann Huffman thing. So now let's go back here and we'll go to Object, Align, and Center. And now it's aligned. But we're not done with it yet. And because of Silhouette Studio, for me, because I have a lot of programs on my computer, I am constantly saving. Not that you have to, but I have a lot of software loaded on mine, so I'm constantly saving. Here's what we want to do to just finish it off and make it look absolutely beautiful. We want to click on this black, which is our background layer, and we want to go to offset. I'm so tempted to go over here, but I won't. Let's see. Object, offset, to bring up our offset window. And we want to offset. And you can play with it to whatever suits your eyes. I'm just going to click apply for the purpose of this tutorial. But here's the key that I want you to learn about offset. I want you to go to lines and just know that we don't have to live with this skinny line. Let me enlarge it some. We are on this line and we're going to thicken it. We want this line thicker around it. That's what we want. And let me zoom back out to give us our offset, and we can go back up here to the color if we want to, and we can say we want it to be the offset to be yellow and our line is black, or we can say that we want the line itself to be yellow. But I think that the line will look better black with the yellow offset. And so I don't remember the member that asked me about the Texas. I forgot to group them. I know you caught that. I was trying to remember your name. So to say, you see how easy it is? Right click, group. And it doesn't matter if this was stripes or if it was the chevron, if it was paisley, circles, it really doesn't matter. As long as you have some color in the image that you trace, both things have to be traced first of all. And the image is on the bottom, the pattern is on the top. Make sure that you have some color to your image. It helps you visually to see it. And so far, so good. Nothing has crashed yet. But I'm going to stop here and come back and do another video on the dress.